All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone. We're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be likened to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, this is another installment of our camps series called For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob, where we go back and document the history of the terrible things that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has done to the Israelites, throughout the history. And today's story is going to be about the story of Clennon King. He's the Jake scholar sent to a mental asylum for simply applying to college. All right. But before we get into that, we did use a short clip that this is not for profit. We're not monetized, and so with that being said, we're going to restate the copyright disclaimer, which was at the beginning of the video. It says copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, and that's what this is, fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And that's exactly what this is. Non-profit, it's educational for the purpose of this video. All right, so with that, we'll have to open the scripture, Obadiah 1 and 10.
Yep. Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Clennon, this is talking about the violence of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. We know that, according to Revelations 12 and 12, that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of in the flesh. We know that he's about to come down with great wrath, especially, tomorrow being the inauguration day of all those MAGA folks, all right? And the violence, is really starting to step up, all right? You can see it systematically with all these DEI things, and then it's going to get real carnal here real soon. And Jake needs to be aware of that. But like I said, now we know who you are in the scriptures and know who we are. We're starting to, tell the world, and the world knows the devil that you are. That's why that shame is starting to cover you. You want to hide history and all of that. Just like you just ended one of these apps, and eventually it's going to be the entire internet where we can't find information on you about your history. You're constantly changing stuff, keeping it out of schools. Keeping funds away from those schools who want to teach the history of what really happened with this country. You have a House resolution on the floor right now, House Resolution 4321, which pretty much says if any state brings forth legislation concerning reparations for the descendants of slaves, that they won't even get any federal help. Go ahead.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So just like the brother is saying, the violence and the different things that are pushed within this earth by Esau, Edom, so-called white man, are pre-written. Mm-hmm. They write them and they put it into law, into act. Mm-hmm. And then they act upon it. Like the brother said, you to add to the point, you have when Trump get into office, he has 100 plus executive orders that he's looking to sign. Mm-hmm. And of course, we know that he has spoken about one thing being pushed is this deportation.
Yep.
And that's going to fully affect so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that came into the land.
Mm-hmm.
But not taking in consideration, there was thousands of others from other places, but the main focus has been the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what was the other thing you just mentioned? You said they just put into
House Resolution 4321.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, just when the case with and we talked about this, the case of Tulsa, Oklahoma, also Black Wall Street, was still going through the courts. They put that House Resolution 4321 on the books, pretty much saying any states that bring forth legislation paying reparations to the descendants of slaves, you won't receive any federal help.
Okay.
Okay, so right after that was put on the floor, shortly thereafter, they denied reparations for those last surviving people of Black Wall Street. Okay, and that right there should tell Jake who you are in the scriptures. It says, "No man shall save you." Okay, according to the curses.
Also to the point, they also are talking about taking away the like the tenant. They're changing the child support.
Yep.
So like a lot of women who have banked on like WIC and food stamps. There's talk that a lot of that's going to be suppressed or taken away completely.
Yep.
So further in the affliction, and and of course, I think it was I forgot. It seemed like it might have been Apostle Gabar, who actually was going into the teats. So all the things in which Esau Edom was giving you that caused you to talk, like I said, from the Tanif, I forget what they're called. They have different names for it in different cities and states, but those things being taken away from you. But when it was all given, Section 8, different housing, because it puts you in a place of saying that you don't need a man. And you took the man out of the home. So now all the things in which you sided with Esau, Edom, the government, the system, for being willing to keep the man out of the home, keeping the children away from the man, breaking up the household, the family, which is part of the 7 abominations, sowing discord, and they did it systematically. And now they're going to pull that carpet, so to speak, that rug from underneath you, and now you're going to be out. A lot of so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American women are going to be out in the cold.
Yep.
And that I didn't need a man, or that feminist mindset that you had before is going to be humbled.
Yep.
So yeah, I know.
No,
it's just
I think he was coming out of Isaiah 32, where he said the benches shall fail. Yep.
They shall lament for the teats.
Yep. So, okay.
Which all goes back to, like I said, the thing, he's coming down with great wrath. I know we're going to go into the story, but these are just little points of showing these stories that we speak on now, because things that were written aforetime, written for our learning. So just as the things that we've seen Esau has done, he's had a pattern of things that he's done. There's nothing different. He's not going to change now.
Yep.
Okay. So this is so the things that we're speaking on, is prophetically in the scriptures that shows that he's going to show himself to be who he really is.
Precept.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4. It says, "The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil." You see, so we understand the Lord, he has his hands in all things, right? And pertaining to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? The Lord created him to be the wicked. You see, and there's nothing that anybody on the face of the planet Earth can do to change that, because that's how the Lord wants his individual to be. You see, and Esau, he's gonna be this way all the way up until the end. And the day of evil that's coming, guess what, man? The Lord, that's when the Lord, all right, because we understand the Lord, he's hardened Esau's heart as we speak. You see, so, hey, man, the Lord is hardening his heart, all right, that he may show his power. See, because the Lord getting ready to show the world that Esau, Edom, so-called white man, is just a man and not a God, man.
Can Can you back that up with Job 21 and 30?
I want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
13.
Oh, I was actually bringing
Oh,
up.
okay, I got it. Okay.
Sure.
Job chapter 21 verse. I'll start at verse 29. It says, "Have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction?
Mm.
They should be brought forth to the day of wrath."
And like you said, they're tokens. That's exactly what you was talking about. Them having the same playbook over and over and over again when it comes to the degrading Mason of Jake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he uses the same playbook, so we know his tokens, okay? And because of those tokens, we know that he's the one that is not in trouble like other men. And like I just brought out, you know, several times, he's holding him for the day of evil, to the day of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to keep doing what we're doing, all right? This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23, and it reads, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil."
Yeah. So his he is, when you look up that accustomed, what's really quick.
Okay, accustomed.
So his being, the Lord created him to be wicked. So so that's why the scriptures talk about, you know, how he puts on violence.
Mhm.
You know, how he drink the bread, he drink the wine of violence. He eat the bread of wickedness, drink the wine of violence. His whole makeup as a nation of people, as a mindset, is to steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things in which he has shown, Yahweh Bashim Shai has shown us through the scriptures, and then we see it playing out in the world and how they act. And when we go into this story, you know, we'll see, because it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much knowledge you have, as long as they are in power, you're going to always be subdued and continuously crushed.
Yep.
Underneath them. Go ahead.
Okay, this is a custom in the Blue Letter Bible. Goes to the Hebrew word lamawad. Okay, and out of biblical uses, it says taught, learn, disciple, taught, accustomed to something. In the Strong's definition, it means instructed, accustomed, disciple, learned, taught, used.
Okay, hold on real quick.
In the Merriam-Webster's dictionary?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it also has a root word, lamad, which I'll go into. It says to learn, teach, exercise in, to learn.
Yeah, and
teach.
that's the thing. So they pretty much, this is what they their makeup. And this is what they teach. This is what they learn. There was a video I think some time ago, like the so-called ish people, and they were in the school. They were in the I think it was like an elementary, junior high school with the kids, and they were asking them questions about, I think it was like the people in Gaza, you know, or it might have been in Palestinians, but they were asking them as far as like their mindset, and they pretty much was like get rid of them, you know, like take them out, delete, you know. So as young children, that's how, you know, they are. And then like the scriptures talk about, train up a child in the way he should go, and they train up their kids, and that's how their mindset is that they completely will destroy anyone that's against them.
I was going to finish that. It doesn't leave either. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows old, he won't depart from it.
Right, and that's really for the the Israelites, you know, training up the children, and the laws, the commandments, and the ways of the Heavenly Father. But here's something real quick. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And we know, again, we speaks about it all the time, that the wicked, was created for the day of evil. The wicked also, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, and and Malachi 4:1.
1-4.
Oh, 1 and 4, the water. And it says, from men which are thy hand, okay, O Lord, from men of the world. So, this current age, these men, they actually have an upper hand right now, but the Lord, again, as rivers of water, can you somebody get that real quick?
This is this is Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it, and whithersoever he will."
So again, from the kings all the way down, everyone is in control by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so that's why we prefer to fall in the hands of Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai in the hands of man. All right, because while Yahweh Shai is going to have mercy. It says, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy treasures. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. So they pretty much are in a position of where they're going to take, and continue on. Their thought is that their houses shall continue forever. And they're just going to continue to eat and take, until they use you until they use you up. Okay?
Yep.
So, we'll go ahead.
All right. This is in the article that you see on the screen. This comes from News One, and we got it via news break, and we'll put a description of this article in the description box, and at the end of it, there is a short YouTube video going over the life of Clennon King. All right. And it's titled, "The Story of Clennon King, Black Scholar Sent to Mental Asylum for Applying to College." It says, staring down the long hall of an insane asylum is the last place anyone expected a young, ambitious scholar to end up. Yet, Clennon King found himself in this very position, fighting for an education, equality, and a chance at a better life. Imagine trying to educate yourself, but because of the color of your skin, they call your passion for learning a crime and your ambition a sign of madness. Could you prevail? That goes back into that, Isaiah 10 and 1 that you called out.
Okay.
All right. It says, well, Clennon King not only prevailed, but also went on to become the first black man to run for president of the United States. This is a story of Clennon Washington King Jr. Clennon King was born on July 18, 1920, in Albany, Georgia, the oldest of 7 children. His father was a civil rights activist, Tuskegee Institute student, and chauffeur of Booker T. Washington. Education was very important to his family. His brothers all had prominent work for black men at the time, one serving as a lawyer, another a real estate agent, and the third a civil rights activist. According to the Mississippi Encyclopedia, King earned a bachelor's degree at Tuskegee Institute and a master's degree from the Case Western Reserve University. He then went on to teach various black colleges during the 1940s and 1950s. In 1957, King's life began to change drastically as he began to push back against the establishment. As a history professor at Alcorn Agricultural and Mechanical College, now Alcorn State University, King criticized NAACP members, calling out their integration tactics, claiming they disrupted race relations between whites and ordinary blacks.
So it sounds like he was fine until you start speaking against the establishment.
Yep.
Right? They want to keep you in your place, be a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Until now you start to speak up. Now you become an enemy.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the article. In response, more than 600 students boycotted his classes, and by the end of the 1958 school year, Alcorn College let his contract expire. Since he wasn't teaching anymore, King decided to continue his pursuit of higher education, and in the summer of 1958, he tried to enter the graduate program in history at the University of Mississippi. He was the first black person to ever apply, and racism quickly became more important than a human trying to better themselves. When King arrived at the campus to register, Governor J.P. Coleman, members of the State Highway Patrol, and several plainclothes officers were there to introduce him to the white power structure of hatred and bigotry. And that's sad that it's not changed today. It's one of us, but it takes a multitude of them to take one of us down. It says they didn't allow King to register, visibly forcing him from the area, arresting the black man, then taking him to jail. According to the Mississippi Encyclopedia, 2 physicians from the jail declared King insane, forcing him to spend nearly 2 weeks in a state asylum. King stayed in the state asylum until his brother, civil rights lawyer C.B. King, fought and got him released. This is the moment when most people will fold. America just revealed its ugly soul to King, and it could have ended his dreams, but it didn't. In 1960, Clennon King ran for president and became the first black man to do so. Running on the independent Afro-American Party ticket, King amassed 1,485 votes in Alabama and finished 11th nationally in the 12-candidate field. Although he lost, he paved the way for black people to have a voice in the White House. In 1979, he moved to Miami and established All Faiths Church of Divine Mission, the Arenia Mallory School of Religion, the Miami Council for Church and Social Action, and the Party of God. He would continue to run in local elections, and although he didn't win, his story is a testament to his resilience and perseverance in times of adversity.
And you see, if I may real quick, we kind of, because the article said it paved the way for Salakia, for black people to have a voice, and one thing we understand with our people, man, they're seeking a way out.
Yep.
All right, but they're going to every avenue but the truth.
Yep.
And that's why Jake is never going to succeed, because first and foremost, all right, us as a nation, we in captivity, right? So it's not set up for us to succeed, man. Our scripture said that our enemies, predominantly Esau, Edom, will be the head and we shall be the tail. Mm-hmm. And we going to be on the bottom till the Most High send his son back, man.
Yep.
So Jake trying to run for, high positions, in the Senate and in politics and things of that nature, all right? That's not going to bring salvation unto the nation, man.
Right. Right. And, like you quoted one of the curses, they're going to be the head, we're going to be the tail, as I always bring out from Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. The word shall or shout appears 110 times. Okay, that means inevitable. Because we broke the covenant, those curses are inevitable. They are going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay? But, he told us what to do in the beginning. Somebody want to grab, I think it's 1 Chronicles or 2 Chronicles 7:14.
This is this is 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. It says, "If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land."
Yeah. See, we know that's not going to happen. From the standpoint, we know the prophecy is 2/3 of Israel, is going to be cut off and die. And see, the Lord, according to Job 34:29, has he will either deal with the nation or deal with the individual. In our case, he dealt with the nation, and we saw a glimpse of that in the book of was it Joshua chapter 7 when Achan was disobedient, saying those defiled things and stealing the gold and stuff. Mm-hmm. Israel got jacked up. They lost that war, but it was all because of what he did. Okay, so that just goes to show that he deals with a nation. We agreed to those laws, statutes, and commandments as a nation, and the punishment would be for as a nation. All right.
Hey, well, look at Jeremiah. You know, Jeremiah, he was doing the will of the Lord, man. He was doing the right thing. Right, but the Heavenly Father still told him that even he himself would discontinue from his heritage.
Yep.
See, because once again, that's just proving the point that the Lord, he deals with nations, man.
Yep.
You know?
Precept.
Right.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. So it's like the brothers are saying, like, we're yet this day still in our captivity, and we're under the curses. The condition is of our people. You can see that no one actually has any good thing to say or do, you know, for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And but they will take your money, you know.
Yeah.
So we're subject to, you know, taxes, water, actually anything, you know, we have to pay for, which in all actuality, you know, through the hand of Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, you know, all of this actually belongs to the children of Israel. So that makes it that far worse, you know, that we're actually paying and being in servitude to a nation who actually, in essence, should be serving us. So the Lord has did a marvelous work, and to put us into this position, because it shows us that much further that the curses that He said that would happen have come to, are true.
Yep.
That His word is true, and that He's not a liar. So He says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, so we transgress, right? He said, if you do these things, you know, these blessings will come upon thee. If you do this, these curses. And the people stood before Moses in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and they said, all these things you say we will do, roughly paraphrasing. And because of that agreement, that covenant, that joining together, that marriage, right? Because He says, I am married unto you. This is why things like this happening to this man, you know, who was very well educated man, but yet he was taken and put into a asylum.
Yep.
All right. And then last part, it says, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay. It says, verse 9, hear Israel the commandments of life, give ear to understanding and wisdom. So this is the wisdom, the understanding that's coming from, you know, what He did. He's shown unto His servants, the prophets, of why these things are happening unto us, you know, and why the enemy is ruling over us at this very moment. It's because we, like the brother said, we're turning to everything. You know, our people are turning to everything, every other idol, every other way other than Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, that's, you know, kind of what he was pointing out in that Second Chronicles 7:14. You know, that was at a time where, you know, the Lord, for lack of better words, kind of being sarcastic during that time with the nation of Israel, when He knew He wasn't going to do it. But just want to point out here, we didn't mention it, but I did some further research. He passed away February 12th, 2000. So that's all this wasn't that long ago, but when you read in between the lines of the article.
Wait, he was born 1920?
Yeah, he was 79 years old when he passed away.
Okay.
Yeah, 79.
That's not long at all.
No.
The scriptures say he makes it to 80 by reason of strength, roughly paraphrasing. He almost made it to that checkpoint.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but I was saying, when you read in between the lines of this article, they knew he applied, but they waited until he got there to make an example of him. And as we say, it's the same playbook.
Last week, the video, like they set him up as being a postmaster.
Yeah,
And they made a complete example of him.
Yep. And that's what happened here. You know, when you look back over all the history that we've been covering during this series, they would get the person that was allegedly guilty of the crime they were accused of, which, you know, come to find out they weren't in a lot of times. However, rather than dealing with just that person, they go take out the whole neighborhood, burn down the whole neighborhood. So in this case here, you know, this was a message to other Jakes not to be applying for higher education. They want to keep you dumb, all right? And come to find out, you know, college was free at one point in time until we started going.
Yeah.
That started with Reagan.
Precept.
Yep, go ahead.
Yep, this is Shalakia. This is Psalms chapter 62 and verse 4. It says, they only consult to cast him down from his excellency.
Alright.
They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah. And